Hello and welcome to this gentle activation for all levels. It will be 20 minutes. So you can bring yourself to stand on your mat with your feet slightly wider than hip width apart, toes facing forward, heels facing back. And you're simply going to start just by taking little gentle bends of the knees and noticing the placement on the soles of your feet. So try to spread your feet evenly into the floor while you gently bend and stretch, take a little bounce here and there, and begin to draw your belly button towards your spine so that you tell your center to stay strong. And then you're going to shift your weight from left to right. Same idea, you are spreading the feet evenly into the ground as you shift the weight side to side. Reaching the arms up towards the sky, nice and centered on the feet, and then bend the knees, bring the arms down alongside you. I would inhale to lift the arms, stretch the legs. Exhale, bend the knees, lower the arms. And again, imagine your spine growing really, really tall as you lift the arms and stretch the legs. And then feel the weight of the pelvis as you bend the knees and lower the arms. Little bends and stretches, centering the body, starting to wake up the legs a little bit, and allowing the breath to flow. Big breath in and exhale out. Okay, taking side bends. Soften the knees. Again, keep the weight even in the soles of the feet. Try to keep your pelvis in the middle of your legs. So avoid kind of rocking the pelvis out to the side. Keep the weight even, keep the pelvis centered, and you're taking this beautiful side bend through the spine. We're still warming up, so you don't have to go too far. Just go to where it feels good. Allowing the head to come with you, trying to find some space between the shoulders. Then take a little quarter circle to the center, shake out the shoulders a bit, and roll up through the center. Side bend over to the other side, pelvis is still in the center, quarter circle, nodding the chin to the chest, letting the head fall heavy, shake out the arms, wiggle out the shoulders, and roll back up. We'll do that a few more times. Side bend, quarter roll forward, take that chin to the chest, belly button to the spine, and roll up again. Side bend, you're still even on the soles of your feet. Quarter circle forward, shake it out, and we'll go again over to the side. Find a breath that works for you. I kind of like to exhale in the center here. I would roll up and then reach. Sometimes I like to inhale on the side bend. Find what feels good for you. Good. All right, little shoulder roll if you need to. Gentle bounces through the legs. And aim to get a little bit of buoyancy through the spine. And then we'll start moving into some rotations. So generally from a Pilates perspective, we would aim to keep the hip bones shining forward and just rotate the upper back. But this time you're actually going to let the weight shift on the soles of the feet, and you'll notice that the hips kind of start to twist a little bit. Still, most of the rotation is happening in the upper back, but kind of integrate the whole body in these twists and use your head as well. This time we'll take a big sweep of the arms, press them out to the side, and then big sweeping rotation, press out to the side. So think of wrapping yourself and then pressing the walls away. Wrap yourself and press the walls away. You might like to inhale on the wrap, exhale on the press, inhale on the wrap, exhale on the press. Okay, good. Reaching the arms up to the sky and a little wiggle up there. Stretch out the spine, chin to the chest. We'll take our first roll down and stretch the legs if you like and roll up to stand. Again, sweeping the arms to the ceiling, lengthen the spine, interlace the hands. Exhale, chin to chest, bend the knees, roll it all the way down. Stretch and shift out the body a little. You can take little wiggles at the bottom of that roll down if you like. Make it your own, nod the chin to the chest, roll it down. Shake out the head, whatever you need. You know what you need. Breathing in and weight of the head brings you down. Good, little shift maybe. Keep going. I think we've got one or two like this. Rolling. I'm still even in the feet. A little shake. Big breath in, lengthen the spine, and roll all the way down. You can rock the weight from side to side, take a little sway in the spine, and let the shoulders fall very heavy, nod the chin to the chest so that the head is heavy, and come back to the center. Okay, one hand to one ankle, the other arm opens up towards the ceiling. You can bend your knees if your hamstrings are screaming at you. If you feel like your hamstrings are nice and long today, you can stretch your legs. And you're really looking to open up the collarbones, so holding onto one ankle and opening up, almost lifting the fingertips of the lifted arm to the ceiling. You'll kind of feel there's a pull that happens, almost like you trying to touch the ceiling with those fingers. Okay, take both hands to your ankles. You're going to bend your knees and lower your pelvis just to where you feel comfortable for now, and then stretch the legs, nod the chin to the chest, come into a forward fold. I'll change angles for you. Hands to the ankles, bend the knees nice and long through the spine and out through the crown of the head, and stretch. So you're aiming for a nice deep squat, but you're going to move into it slowly. If you find that your heels need to leave the floor, you can place your fingertips on the ground and gently lift the heels. But you really want to try and work to keep your heels down. Get your hips nice and low, lengthen out the spine, and open up the collarbones as you take the pelvis towards the ground. So really open up the hips, make space, make space, make space, and then stretch into your forward fold. Inhale, lower the pelvis, find your squat, and exhale, stretch the legs into your forward fold. Again, lower the pelvis, open the knees so that you have space for the pelvis, and then take little shifts from left to right. Again, if you need to keep your fingertips or your hands on the floor, please feel free to do so. Do your best to work your heels to the ground. Okay, press those knees open, and we will come to sit onto the bum. Okay, place your feet as wide as your mat. Take your hands behind you, and we'll move into some gentle little windscreen wipers, rolling the pelvis from side to side, and just getting some space into the hips, a little bit of twist into the lower back. Always taking the belly button to the spine just to feel a little bit more supported in the lower back. And then come to a froggy position. Your heels can be quite a nice distance away from your pelvis. You're going to nod your chin towards your chest and roll the crown of your head down towards the floor. When you can't go anymore, reach out through the crown of the head and you'll feel your spine lengthen. Then bring yourself up to sit. Again, nod the chin to the chest. Imagine the spine rolling forward. Reach out through the crown and lift back up with a long spine. Again, you might feel the pelvis tilting underneath you. That's absolutely fine. You're aiming to get as much articulation through the spine as possible. If the pelvis responds, it's all right. So invite the movement into the spine and rolling forward. And don't worry about how open your knees are. Try to be comfortable in the legs. Yeah. It's not always a comfortable position for a lot of people, so just work as best you can in this frog position. We're going to reverse. Hinge forward with a long spine, nod the chin to the chest, and then roll yourself up to sit. So it's a reversal of what you've just done. Forward fold with a long spine. When you can't anymore, round the spine and roll up to sit. You're still inviting movement into the spine. Your pelvis might do a little bit of rocking and rolling. It's absolutely okay. Find a breath that works for you. Maybe an inhale to sit and an exhale to hinge over. And as you move, you're just looking for a little bit more space into the hips, maybe a little bit deeper into those folds. Nice and easy. Okay, good. We'll take a rotation, looking over that back shoulder. Aim to keep your sitting bones nice and level down into the floor. Change sides. I'm holding onto the knee and placing my hand directly behind me. We move back over to the other side. This time you're going to reach your back arm forward and come into a forward fold. Tap the fingers to the front of your mat. Come back to the rotation, sit up nice and tall, and we'll reach that other arm, that front arm back, and we'll move to the other side. So rotation, back arm reaches up and bowls forward to touch the front of the mat, and then we reverse, placing that hand onto the floor behind you, reaching the front arm back and coming back to the other side. Each time you move forward or back, you're going to try and find a little bit more space. So here you might even reach the hand a little bit further back, and you might bend the back elbow a little bit more. Maybe it touches the floor, maybe not. Other side. So you're aiming to increase the space. You fold even further forward, reach even further forward, and reach even further back. Big, 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 big reach, bend the elbow, and come back to the center. I think we've got one more on each side. Forward fold. Aim to maintain that rotation. In the upper back this time, go even further to the back of your mat. Lower the elbow, and you're going to take a few moments here just to check out that rotation. Try not to dump into the back shoulder. Use the abdominals to come back up. Last time on the other side. Big, beautiful forward fold. Hopefully you've gained a little centimeter or two. And then reach back. Elbow to the ground. Big reach. Twist it out. Have a little check. Move the head. Move the arm. And come back to the center. Lovely. Good. Come a little bit forward of your mat, and you're going to roll yourself down onto your back nice and slowly, reaching arms up overhead. Bring your heels in line with your sitting bones. Press into the palms of your hands, nod your chin to your chest, and lift your head and shoulders up off the floor. Okay, so we're coming back to Pilates technique here. We're aiming to keep the pelvis as neutral as possible, and we're moving into what's called a curl up. So inhale as arms reach back just off the ground. Exhale, press, nod, and curl yourself forward. Your hip bones should be facing the ceiling. If they start tilting towards you, you want to correct that and get them to face the sky. Okay, so try your best not to tilt your tail between your legs. And then take one or two more, I think. Breathing in. Exhale and staying up. We're going to move into single knee folds. So your intention here is to move from the hip. So use your breath. I would exhale to fold the knee in. Inhale to place the foot down. Exhale, knee in. And continue alternating sides. If your head gets really heavy, you can interlace your hands behind the nape of your neck and carry your head in your hands. Otherwise, just keep the arms at the side. All right, we're moving into what are technically called knee drops, but I don't really like the word drop. I'd rather you guide your knee out to the side of you. So we're again working in the hip, deeply in the hip. You're aiming to keep your pelvis neutral again, and you allow the knees to fold out to either side. The head stays still, the shoulder girdle stays still. Yeah, just rolling into external rotation of the hip. Rolling onto the outside edge of the foot. And then we will continue. So arms back up overhead. We're going to tilt the tail between the legs and start to roll the spine away from the floor. And then roll it back down to the position you just came from. Tilt the tail, roll the spine off the ground, and exhale, release back down to the floor. Press gently into the soles of your feet. Make sure that you're articulating through the length of your spine, and use your breath to guide you. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Spread those toes. I think you've got one or two more. And we'll stay at the height of the movement if I'm correct. We're going to stay lifted. Pelvis stays up. Press into the feet. And take a few moments there just to get those glutes to fire, hammies to fire, and then roll back down. Okay, moving into a froggy position with the legs. You're going to take what would normally be done with flat feet and parallel legs. You're going to squeeze the glutes and lift the pelvis. Okay, squeeze the glutes and lift the pelvis in this frog position. You're looking for as much stability as possible. If you feel like there's some little wiggles and wobbles happening, it's totally okay. We're just getting the glutes to fire up and doing your best to lift the pelvis off the floor, reaching the arms down alongside you, fingertips reach down, down, down. Okay, keep the hips lifted, gentle little squeeze, hold, 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 and let it back down to the ground. Nod your knees in, or knock your knees in, turn your head over to one side, and take a few breaths here. Just let everything settle down into the mat. And then turn the head to the other side. Easy breathing, knees are knocked inwards, gentle rest. And we will move onto the side body. So I'd like you to bring your underneath elbow directly underneath your shoulder. Be quite disciplined with this, elbow directly underneath the shoulder, and you're going to start to circle out that underneath shoulder. So I like to take my free hand around the underneath of my rib cage, and it allows me to really sense the back of the shoulder blade gliding on the ribs. See if you can find what I mean. Change direction of those shoulder circles. And then split the legs into what we'll call a sit-on walk or a 90-90, and reach the arm that was just working over, and then take it to the knee and take a gentle contraction. So you're going to almost pull on that leg as if you were kind of falling back into the wall. Move the head a little bit. And we'll move on to the other side. So other arm underneath you, elbow directly underneath the shoulder. Please, this is quite important, especially if you're going to move into more advanced side-lying positions or exercises. Rolling out that shoulder. Circles, pressing, and getting familiar with how much space you have in your shoulder joint. One side might be quite different to the other. Generally, one side is a little bit clickier, a little bit more clicky than the other. Good. Okay, split the legs. Reach that working arm far away from you. Lengthen out that trunk, the side of the trunk. Take the hand to the knee. The back arm I find on my ankle and pull into that leg, so almost like you're falling back into the wall. Okay, great. Gently release it. Move yourself onto all fours. Tuck your toes, and we will lift up into your A-frame, and you're going to walk out your A-frame for a little bit. Spread your hands, bend and stretch the knees. Whatever you need here. Maybe you want to walk out alternating legs. Nod the chin gently towards the chest and feel out the back of the legs, rooting the heels down towards the ground. Let's take a pause here. Stretch your legs as much as you can. Deep, beautiful breaths. And then bend your knees. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Take a moment upside down and hold your elbows into the palms of your hands. Allow the weight of your head and your shoulder girdle to pour into the floor. Feel the weight even on the feet. And begin to ragdoll from side to side, nice and heavy. Let the hips sway, spread the toes, keep the feet receptive, lift the arches. And then settle your ragdoll, release your arms and roll yourself up to stand, finding your head beautifully balanced on top of your shoulder girdle. Sweep the arms up, exhale, bring them down the center of the body. Breathe in, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, down the center. And again, inhale. Feel tall through this whole structure and centered through the soles of your feet. Finding balance with the head on top of shoulders, shoulders on top of pelvis, pelvis on top of your feet, on top of your legs. Good. Resting your hands onto your belly and taking a few moments to breathe easy, feeling yourself in space. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and move into your day, afternoon, or evening. Thank you so much for joining me. Keep well, keep moving, and I'll see you on the next one. Lots of love. Bye.